Why do affirmations work, and what is the science of neuroplasticity? So I'm Connie Rose, a happiness and addiction coach. I help you have healthy relationships with yourself, people, food, and substances. And so today we're going into why affirmations work and the neuroplasticity of the brain, and why this is so essential to how you actually see your life, the world, or your habits, and even addictions. And feel free to ask any questions as we go along. So basically, how you think creates your reality. So the brain, when you have a thought, a neural connection is made in your brain, and the synapses are firing together, right? So there's the two fundamentals of neuroplasticity is that neurons that fire together wire together. So the second principle is that if you don't use it, you lose it. So the more you think the same thing, the stronger that connection gets in your brain. So over the years of living, your brain will change based on what you have been thinking. And then the more you think something, the more it becomes who you are, because every thought creates an emotion. And then that emotion happens in your body, and then that emotion will tell your brain to think a certain way. So if you have an anxious thought, your body will feel anxiety as an emotion, and then the brain will think, oh, there must be something wrong. So it will start to have more anxious thoughts to confirm that emotion and that as your reality. So I'm just going to refer to my notes here. So basically, how you think and feel creates your state of being. So if you are not being defined by a vision of the future, this is what Joe Dispenza always says, then you are being defined by the memories of the past. So you have to teach your body emotionally how the future will feel like. And this is why affirmations are so powerful, because when you say something with an emotion, it will create a stronger connection in your brain, and then that will become your personality, which creates your personal reality, which is how you experience the world. So like, for example, the same two different people in the same environment can have very different experiences of that same reality, because they are coming from it from a very different perspective, and their perspective is based on their programming, which is their set of beliefs. So you change your reality by changing your programming, and you do that by changing your thoughts and emotions. So, and a memory is created when you have the stronger emotion. So the stronger emotion you have, the stronger the memory, because that's just very primal. Because when you have a very negative experience, your brain will be like, oh, I better remember this because it seems like it's important for survival. So your brain will store that, and then your brain will store that as a memory, and then you will most likely, I'm losing my train of thought here, sorry. Your brain basically will I got thrown off by people coming into the thing. Right, so basically your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and imagined, right? So the more you teach your brain to feel a certain way, the more it will become you. And when we say you that you won't, if you don't use it, you lose it, that's the same as like how bison running together in a herd, the slower ones will die, and that makes the herd more efficient. And the brain doesn't care if you are happy or not, it cares about efficiency. So if you aren't using positive, happy thoughts and wiring those neurons together, the brain will be like, okay, we don't need them then. Let's just keep to an anxious brain, because it doesn't care if you're happy or not, it cares about efficiency. Just like the efficiency of the herd of the bison. The ones that are slow will die, and that makes the herd more efficient. So when you have a thought that is negative, the key here is to decide not to feed it and not to carry that on. And you can train your brain and your body for success and happiness with affirmations. But it's really important that you don't just say the affirmations, you actually feel them. Because you can actually do more negative damage if you say the affirmation with complete lack of belief and like this isn't going to work, like I will be a success today, and your brain's thinking no I won't, and you're feeling depressed. So you have to be an actor and act as if you will be a success. So you say like, I will be a success today, and you're like looking up and you're feeling the success, you're feeling happy, and then you are training your brain and body to fire and wire those neurons together. Okay, and then that will create a stronger network to help you remember more when you do have that negative emotion come in. At least you have built the connection through the affirmations that you're doing when you're adding the emotion in. And then you can go to that and be like, no, actually, I know that's not true, because I am safe, I am abundant, I am loved, right? Instead of, I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough, I never make it, I'm not a success. Like those thoughts, because that's just the familiar. And the brain and body just loves the familiar because it's more efficient. It's much less efficient for the brain to be thinking in the unknown, to be in the unknown, but you can train your brain to enjoy the unknown if you include an emotion with it. So you can train your brain to think, I love the unknown, I love surprises, I love because I'm expecting it to be good, because it's safe, right? Because the mind, brain and body also wants safety, because it's all very, very primal. Efficiency and safety is for survival, and essentially that is just what we are here to do. And you may not think it's very intelligent design. I mean, it's funny how we can even think about this, isn't it? It's like, okay, what's going on there? But that's a whole other thing, right? So when you make that different choice to not feel that certain way, you will feel uncomfortable, and that's fine, because we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and if say 90% of those thoughts are based on what you felt in the past, then you're just going to continue feeling what you felt in the past. If you continue to feel what you felt in the past, because your thoughts create your emotions, which create your actions, you will continue to be the same person, and that's how you never change. But for example, you can get worse, because if you're thinking, for example, addiction, because I'm an addiction coach, if you're thinking I'm an addict and I can't change, and that creates the emotion of like, oh, depressed, like, okay, I want that fix, right? Then you drink again every day. Then eventually, your dopamine levels are going to get damaged, and your body and liver is going to get damaged, and so you will get worse, but that you're going in the wrong direction. But how you change is, yes, for an addict, you need to remove the trauma and the root cause and find out that, but a key element to this is not feeding that belief, not feeding the repetitive thoughts and behaviors and emotions of the past, which contribute to your addiction and your habits. And so you stop yourself and you go, actually, no, I can change. And you train yourself in the morning with those affirmations. I am a success. I am worthy. I am able. I am capable, right? I am able to stop myself from reaching for the drink when it's just to numb myself. Because I actually believe that you can free yourself from addiction to the point where you can take or leave that drink, because it's not based on the old programming. You can create your own programming in your mind. So, because a habit, just is very similar to addiction, is a programmed set of unconscious, automatic thoughts, behaviors, emotions, and this creates, which is created through repetition, right? And obviously the reasons you become an addict are different to the reasons, somewhat usually different to the reasons that you create a habit. They can be. So, just looking at my notes here. So if you allow an emotion to continue, it becomes your reality, okay? Because when you have a reaction to something in your environment, which can actually just be a thought, there is a period after the emotion, which is called the refractory period. And this is a period of time when you are more resistant to change. And this can last for a minute, an hour, a day, or a year, years, right? And that becomes your mood, right? And so someone can ask, like, oh, why are you so upset? Oh, I'm in a bad mood. And why are you in a bad mood? Oh, because this person did this thing like 5 months ago, or like a couple of weeks ago, or whatever. Like, or I'm still really angry and bitter about that person that, rejected me, or like did this thing, or whatever, right? And then after, because you're continuing to think that over and over again, those neurons are getting stronger and stronger. And so that becomes a personality trait. Oh, he's become a bitter person. And that becomes your reality. And then because the brain wants efficiency and it wants the familiar, it will look out for things just to confirm that reality. And that becomes who you are. So you can do the opposite of that with positive beliefs, positive affirmations, positive thinking, and then that becomes who you are. That person's just a really happy person. Like, I used to be an addict, I used to have anxiety, I've had times where I've been suicidal, but now I'm extremely happy, extremely positive, because I've trained my brain for it. And also, like, the side note here is like the stress hormones. It's a known fact that stress hormones down-regulate your genes and create disease in the long term. So, and the human brain, because of the large neocortex, we have the ability to create stress just by thinking about something, like more so than animals, right? Because and so when we have an anxious thought or a stressful thought, we're creating that in our body, and we are down regulating our body. And so that's why, like, it's very dangerous to have fear around disease and things, right? Look what's happening in society. The more fear you have, the more your body will actually be in an unhealthy position. So the happier you feel, the more grateful you feel, the more positive you are, it has the opposite effect, where your body starts to feel healthier and is in a position of safety where it can create positive, healthy reactions in your cells and body. And so you will become healthier. It's amazing. It's just very simple science, but a lot of people don't really know this. I'll just finish off by saying that, for example, in addiction, like, one of my main things that I'm working on is to change the way addiction is treated. And I've rewritten the 12 steps. And so you can actually DM me if you're interested in joining a free group that I'm creating soon called the New 12 Steps. And it's all about freeing yourself from those addictive behaviors and no longer being an addict, and being someone that being free without having to go sober forever. Because currently the 12 steps, every time you go to a meeting, they start off with an affirmation. And that affirmation is, I am an addict, or I'm an alcoholic. And you are in a group environment, and when you are in a group environment where you feel support, your body creates, you are creating oxytocin. And oxytocin is a chemical, and so that creates a stronger emotion, which creates a stronger memory, which creates a stronger hardwiring of those neurons together, which creates who you are. And dopamine is produced as well when in that group environment. When you say I'm an addict and then you share your addiction story, you get a nice round of applause. More dopamine, right? Stronger, to create a stronger emotion, and then that becomes who you are. And if you believe you're an addict and then you do have a slip up, because you've solidified that belief, what can often happen is what happened to me, is that my relapses used to be extreme because I had the belief that that is what an addict would do. And if I had one, that would be the end. And that's what they program into you in AA and in the 12 steps. And so my new 12 steps programs into you that you have control over your mind. And so that is the huge difference that will change everything. And it really, really is the most powerful thing you can do, to know that you are in control of your mind and that you can create your own personal reality. You do create your personality. And so if you believe that you are a depressed person, you will be a depressed person. And so you get out of that. One of the tricks is affirmations, but combining that with emotion and feeling it in your body and visualizing yourself and like feeling as if it's happening now, because the brain doesn't know the difference between imagined and real. So when you are imagining like that, you are creating those connections in your brain. And if you want a free affirmations download, feel free to contact me at Connie Rose Coaching, or you can just go to my profile at Connie Rose Coaching and click the link there. And you can get your free affirmations, which so many people have already said it's just changed their life. So it's incredible. So, and I'd love your feedback from it as well. And please follow JoyScore for more lives like this. So I'm Connie Rose. You can find me at Connie Rose Coaching, and follow JoyScore Inc. And I'm wishing you peace on your journey of growth and acceptance in the process. Lots of love.